Hi guys, and welcome to our channel. I'm Esha, your wellness coach, and I'm gonna love sharing with you today about the huge astrological changes happening on the planet right now, and more importantly, how it can help you. All right. So a lot of people, just to go ahead and get right, into the hardy part of the matter, a lot of people, particularly younger people, love learning about wellness, about astrology, holistic ways to better their lives. However, they don't quite receive it well, or from those delivering it in a way that they can understand the concept simply. So that's what I love to share. That is my gift and that's my passion, and I get a lot of positive feedback from my clients and those who love learning and telling me that they understand it very easily when I teach, and I love to teach it. So I'm going to be sharing that with you, and I really would love to hear your feedback and comments on you understanding these great changes that are happening, and more important, on how it can help you and how it is. All right. So we all always love to know, especially us as wellness coaches, when the big shifts are coming up, and particularly how we can put it to work for us, or at least work with it to create the best outcomes for ourselves. And March in 2023, March is a huge month. It's a month with the biggest activity in 2023. I mean, there's some special huge shifts coming up in March 2023, and we're gonna go right ahead. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a teaser of what those changes are, and then we'll go into it so you can see how it can help you. So basically, I've made some, let me go ahead and pull up my notes here. I've made a bit of notes because it's quite a lot happening, guys, and then we'll go right into it. Okay, dig right in. So again, there's life-changing energy, okay, in March, life-changing energy, and this isn't changes that happen often. I mean, every planet, when they change signs, they have an effect on each of us, right? Just like we know, I mean, the moon has an effect on gravity. It has effect on it, and proof of that is the tides of the sea. Okay, the fact that we have high tide and low tide, as we learned in science long ago, is due to the energy that the moon exhibits on the earth. And then you might say, well, that's just scientific, but is it really just scientific? Because if something's so far away, can it really it has to be inputting some energy on the planet. So similarly, the different planets have an input of energy on Earth, just like Earth will have an effect on those. And if you think about your tires, or if you're driving a car, if one tire is off or one part of the car is off, it affects the whole car. Great, guys. So let's go ahead with the life-changing energy happening in March. And some of it has happened, but because there's such huge astrological changes, I mean, these are like 20-year changes, 3-year changes. They're going to be having an effect on us for a while, and effect on you for a while. So they still have an impact. So on the 8th of March, what happened is Saturn moved into Pisces, and that's all about manifesting your dreams. Okay, Saturn moving into Pisces is manifesting your dreams. You've heard, right? And that's pretty neat, because everybody wants to manifest their dreams. You want to create and manifest and make a reality your dreams. Then on the 24th of March, which was my birthday, 24th of March, Pluto actually moved to Aquarius. Okay, it's moved just for a few months. It's going to return back to Pisces and come more permanently next year for 20 years. But still, it has a huge effect, that move, because Pluto is a major planetary planet. I mean, in the zodiac, major planetary planet. It's a major planet in the zodiac. The reason being, it's one of the furthest from Earth. It takes about 200 and I think somewhat 40 years or something like that for it to make a full rotation around the planet. You can check the exact date, but it's a huge amount. So it takes about 20 years per zodiac sign. Therefore, when it does change, it has a big effect. It's not every day that Pluto changes signs. And then the last big change was the 26th of March, that we had Mars moving into Cancer. Okay, Mars moving into Cancer is all about obviously Mars, planet of action. Cancer, it's planet of home. It's all about your home. So we're going to get into those exciting, quite, you know, big changes. Those are the bigger changes. However, there's other things that are up right now as well. The sun is in Aries, so that has an impact. The new supermoon happened in Aries also on 21st of March, when the sun went into Aries as well. And we had the equinox also on the very same day, 21st of March. So we're going to get into all those juicy things right now, okay? More importantly, how it affects you and how you can make it work for you, or at least how you can use those energies and how we can put it to work for us, so we can create the best outcomes for ourselves. All right, okay, great. So let's go ahead and get right to that. So guys, on the 8th of March, I did mention Saturn went into Pisces, and if you're a Pisces, this will obviously have a great effect on you. If your sun sign or rising sign is ruled by Saturn, it would also have a great effect. However, Saturn moving into Pisces, basically that begins the Saturn return, because Saturn actually, you know, there's Earth and we have the different let's use this as our little prop. If you can imagine, this is Earth. It's my little plastic vase here. And we have the different planets going around Earth. So this was one of the planets going around Earth. We have you know, Saturn being one of the furthest planets. We have Earth, and then we have, for example, Pluto would be even further than Saturn, right? Orbiting around, or at least orbiting, yeah, away from Earth. So Saturn moving into Pisces. So the furthest point of this analogy is the further planets. Sorry, my speakers just went off here. Let me just put that back on. Saturn moving, yeah. All right, I think we're back on. Yeah, we are. So Saturn moving into Earth, moving around, you know, affecting Earth with the other planets. Like I said, Saturn would take longer to move around the sun than, for example, Earth would. Pluto, on the other hand, would take even longer than the both of them to move around. So Saturn takes about 28 to 29 years to make its full solar cycle, right? Or the time around the sun. So whenever you were born, Saturn would take 28 or 29 years to come back to the point of where it was, the degree it was when you're born, and then another 28 or 29 years to make its return. So basically, Saturn is now it's ending its 28 or 29 year cycle by entering into Pisces. And so those born, and it's beginning its Saturn return, those born between 1935 to 1938, this would be yours, basically your third Saturn return. Those born between 1964 to 1967, this would be your second Saturn return. And those born between 1993 and 1996, so quite a few millennials, this would be your first Saturn return, right? So you'd be around that age now, you know, of 27 to 30 years old. So what is, you know, Saturn about? Saturn's all about structure. It's also all about organization. It's about groundedness, about being centered. So Saturn moving into Pisces is like, you know, the whole Pisces is all about, you know, the spirituality and that whole woo-woo area where people are not. Again, my speaker, I'm just gonna get it back up and running, guys, so we can hear me all good. So yeah, that whole woo-woo area, so to speak, of people not understanding spirituality, not understanding astrology, that's what we're going to be getting into. And it's going to be much more structured, much more organized, much more centered and grounded for people to be able to understand these concepts and make it, help it, you know, use it to work for them. And that's what's inspired me actually to do these videos, to create this, so to help people do just that. Wonderful. So the other ways that Saturn would be helping, besides bring structure to this, is that, for example, having meditation classes even for kids, building structures over water. Saturn's about structure, Pisces is about water. We'll see even more structures being built over water. You know, for example, we see great structures in Dubai over water, where the glass beneath you, you're walking on a floor of glass, so you can see the beautiful fish and sea life going underneath. We're going to have even more structures like that, guys. I mean, the fish even symbolizes Pisces. So the other ways of structuredness that Saturn's going to bring to this area, people are going to be opening themselves up to more power of mystical ways, to be open to it, to ground it. Even healing energy is going to take a massive jump. Power of the spoken prayer, all of that's going to take a massive jump. When I talk about healing energy, we know that there's the healing energy such as Reiki, which is the Japanese art form of Reiki healing. All of those things, Tai Chi, yoga, all of these healing energies are going to take a massive jump, which we've already been seeing, right? But even more so. Then we have, that is Saturn going to Pisces. Then we have Pluto going into Aquarius. So just to remind you, Saturn going into Pisces was all about the manifesting of our dreams. Remember I said bringing structure to the whole area of spirituality, what's going on inside our inner consciousness. That's what Pisces represents. And Saturn being structure helps us have structure to those dreams, manifesting your dreams. Okay, and then on the 24th March, we have Pluto going into Aquarius. And from Pisces, it was in Pisces, it's going to be going for 3 months. So we're just going to get a taster of what's to come, because it's going to go back for a while into back to Pisces, and then it's going to be moving for 20 years permanently, basically, to Aquarius for 20 more years in 2024, so next year. So for these few months, Pluto going into Aquarius, it's basically all about power of the people. Like I said before, power of the people. Okay, so these are huge changes. As I said, Pluto doesn't change signs every day. Pluto is all about ancient energy. Okay, it's ancient energy, and we're going to get a taste of it, a taste of the feeling of what's to come. So if you think about Pluto, and being in Aquarius, it's basically going to usher in an age of, example, medbeds, power of focused prayer towards us and towards the planet. We can move light years with this frequency. I mean, if you look at the difference between Pisces, the Pisces energy, and the energy of Aquarius, yeah. And I'm just going to get my speaker sorted again. All right, so the difference between Pisces and Aquarius: Pisces is all about feelings, intuition, deeper knowing, whilst Aquarius is about technology, the mental, the mind energy. There's going to be more discoveries of what's going on with the body, at 0 degrees in Aquarius. It's basically building layers, going upwards, discoveries such as discoveries that have come with Pluto about the bodies, and it has been such as X-rays, MRIs, the ability to see inside, right, with lasers, stem cells. Basically, all these discoveries was made at the time of Pluto having a major impact on the zodiac. Stem cells, lasers, uninvasively healing and working in the body. And if you've had any surgery with laser, I've had personally long ago eye surgery, as many have had a laser op where you've used glasses and now you're no longer using it. You would know it's a miracle to have that surgery, and the doctor would always tell you it's to do with or they use lasers. So lasers have a huge impact in not only surgery and in the medical field, but to people, right? It could change your life as you live it, your lifestyle, your perspective. So yeah, it's all about uninvasively healing, working in the body, the miniaturization of technology, such as invisible computers, that's even on the table. It's similar to, the having, if you can imagine, I personally cannot imagine invisible computers. I'd love to have it, but if you can think about it, when the touch screen came out now, we're so used to just working on our phones, using our touch screen. However, years ago, decades ago, that concept wouldn't have been able to have been clearly understood, or at least even conceived. However, watching Minority Report. I'm sure you all love movies. I personally love the movie Minority Report, and I'm sure you remember Tom Cruise using the invisible computer. I mean, just like we could never imagine touchscreens decades ago, and now it's reality, we might not be able to imagine using invisible computers, but they will be a reality. That's the effect Pluto has. There's also immortality, rewriting science, time and space, all about anti-aging. I mean, solving mysteries such as the Egyptian Torah, quantum physics, time of scientific revolution. If you think about anti-aging, all of these wonderful technologies. I mean, even Reiki healing energy, I can for one attest to it. I am a few decades old now, and a lot of people are always complimenting on my age and that I look younger. And I personally think it has a lot to do with the fact that I do Reiki energy healing. It's again a Japanese form of energy healing, which I mentioned earlier. It's basically Reiki stands for universal form of energy. You have different types. You have Tai Chi, all about energy that people work with, and Reiki is the Japanese form, which works with healing energy. And I've not only had it done, Reiki done on me, but I also do it for others who practice it. So a lot of not only doing it for others but teaching others to do it. So a lot of recent years has been doing it on myself, for others, and I feel that has a profound effect on aging, because I mean, your cells take 28 days to every 28 days your cells revitalize and replenish and re-energize themselves. So you could have a whole new set of cells. I mean, every part of your body is regenerating its cells every 28 days. That's how we live so long, right? We don't have the same cells when we were babies, because when we were babies we're really tiny. Now we've all grown, right? So definitely you're creating new cells all the time, every 28 days. So if you can revitalize that energy and re-energize it with, example, healing energy such as Reiki and the different forms of energy that you get, it is a way of anti-aging, okay? And I personally can attest to it, because I myself feel that I look younger than I expected to, and I definitely feel it is due to that. So I personally can give my opinion on that one, but there's huge other changes coming along with Pluto besides that. Like we said, the solving of mysteries of the Egyptian Torah, quantum physics. It's a time of great scientific revolution, basically. How to use technology for the good of all, or basically using the power to control others. Example, technology gives you power to use it for the good of all, and a lot of it has been, people have used power to control others, right? We've seen it in different countries. So with this new technology such as AI, artificial intelligence, we're going to have those different concepts come up of where the artificial intelligence will exceed human intelligence. Also, the way that artificial or AI helps humans, like GPT, it's really having a profound effect. ChatGPT is having a huge effect on helping people research, showing how AI can help, right? There's also the aspect of using power to control others, like the war in Ukraine that actually happened. A lot of people and a lot of wellness instructors that I've spoken to say that Ukraine actually has ancient knowledge. Okay, so this is ancient knowledge, like we know different parts of the world have ancient knowledge, and so the war being fought is actually because it's after this knowledge. Basically, this knowledge is so powerful for humanity that this war is being fought for this knowledge. So that's a lot of perspective. That's the perspective from a lot of people's experience, and just my personal perspective from my experience of listening and talking to various people that I consider great sources of this wisdom as well, that it's a lot of important concepts are going to be coming up where we can be using this wonderful new technology and scientific revolutionary discoveries to help humanity, or use it as power to control others. And that's, I think, how different countries and different people use all forms of knowledge, and this is important coming up right now as well. So the other stuff, guys, that Pluto is going to have an effect on when it's now going to be moving signs to Aquarius is our cosmic origin. Even things such as ETs are going to come up, and those of you, a lot of people have seen Fox News, right? I'm going to switch on my speaker there again. So yeah, a lot of people have seen Fox News already talking about star seeds recently, what they are and why they believe they're here. Basically, star seeds are people that believe they've incarnated on other planets prior to incarnating on Earth. A lot of people believe in reincarnation, and likewise star seeds believe they have incarnated before and not just on other planets, and they bring that technology and that wisdom learned on other planets to Earth. Great. So basically, Pluto is, we're going to be looking at power, which is Pluto. Power of technology, power of people, power of networks, power of the planets, power of artificial intelligence, AI, power of conquering aging. All those things we've spoken about just now. How do we get in touch with that which is immortal and live it for the good of all? Okay. So great. That's all about Pluto moving into Aquarius. And then on the 26th of March, which was just yesterday, Mars moved into Cancer. All right, so Mars is the ruler of Pluto. Actually, it's the ancient, Mars is the ancient ruler of Pluto, but it's also the ruler of Aries. Yeah, and I think it's also the ancient ruler of Scorpio, right? I think because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. However, like we just said, Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. So, I mean, the ancient ruler of Pluto. So, naturally, it would have that effect on Scorpio too. So, Mars is changing signs. On the 26th, it's moving in, well, it already moved into Cancer. It was in Gemini. So, it was in Gemini since August 2021. And now that it's going to Cancer, it's going to obviously have a more direct impact on the home, the energy of the home. Cancer is all about the energy of the home, okay? So the fact that Mars moves at this time, though, when all these other two big planets move, anything that it has an impact on that, because the planets work together. So anything you've been undecided about, on the fence about any direction or clarity about moving forward momentum, right, that's now that it's moving to Cancer, it's going to be moving forward. You're going to have clarity on moving forward, making that forward momentum, taking action on that direction, okay? So as it's in Cancer, it's also the energy of embracing our world family, okay? Cancer is about the home family. It's embracing our world family with all these big changes happening. Mars happening too, about we are one energy. The pandemic was a wake-up call, right? The COVID pandemic was a wake-up call to that. So now in March, it's quite significant as we build up to it. We've just moved into it, but it's energy that is also going to be building up, because if you think about it, these are planets moving for long times, okay? Pluto is a 20-year planet, okay, it's going in for 3 months, going back out, but it's going to be coming back for 20 years with this energy. Saturn is moving in, moves planets into signs for 2 to 3 years. Mars is also going to be there just for, I think, a couple of months, but then I think it's 2 months. However, it's still going to have a huge impact because it's happening at the time of these huge other changes of the big planets, Pluto and Saturn moving. So yeah, so now as we build up to this energy, we work with this energy that's currently happening, building up. We're basically working with our inner being. We're raising our frequency, and as you do that, as you manifest and influence, you actually impact everybody. A random smile, acts of kindness, kind apologies, random prayers for somebody passing by in an accident. Those all have a huge effect. We're going to be able to look at those things. I mean, the power of focused prayer, where groups or communities pray. Previously, it sounded very metaphysical. Some even would say woo-woo, but they've actually been able to have people, who, like Anita Moriarty, other people who've passed on, and then I think even Dr. Wayne Dyer passed on, and in the afterlife passed messages to his kids. We have heard about somebody who had a near-death experience. She was in an accident. She was in a car, and she was in that space between, space between, and she was unconscious. And somebody going past, there was a guy going past, and he was like only concentrating on him getting to work. She could basically pick up on the thoughts of those around her. So the guy going past was getting to work. He was rushing and thinking, oh, this accident is just an inconvenience to me. He was only focusing on his health. There was another lady that went past, and she prayed. She actually prayed for her that she gets the healing, or comes out of this in a better way, alive. And this lady actually, the injured lady, was taken to hospital. She recovered, and she was able to locate the lady who went past. I don't know how, but she was able to locate the lady, and she let her know that her prayer actually helped her. It actually gave her strength to hang in there. And that's the power of focused prayer. I'm sure everybody's had at some point in their life a point where they've had prayer having an impact on their life, or they've influenced others' lives with their own prayer. Group prayer has even more energy, guys. So now we're going to be able to see that it's going to be even more structured, you could say measured, in a way where people can understand, wow, hey, this really helped. An example, the analogy I just gave you is just going to be one of those. So yeah, going back to it, we're going to be able to look for the good things, basically repeatedly, to energize this time, to move to a higher form of living. This change with Pluto going into Pisces, it's going to be a time of moving to a higher form of living, a higher form of consciousness and oneness, or basically a higher, more positive timeline for humanity as a whole, all right, and the evolution of humanity as a whole. I don't think we can look back on this time after these 20 years and recognize it as anything but different, completely different. I think a complete higher form, higher positive timeline. We cannot, especially millennials born after 1994, etc. I don't think they can conceive a planet, especially those who are in the 20s to 30s now, can even conceive a planet before the internet. For those of us Gen X, or borderline Gen X, Generation X and millennials, born in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, even the early 90s, all can imagine a time before the internet, and then when the internet just began, and now, right after it. I don't think a lot of millennials would be able to envision that at all. Similarly, 20 years from now, those who are just being born, or even all of us, sorry, that's just my speaker that I restarted. I'm gonna check on that. I'm not sure why stopping and starting, but it's just come on. Maybe it's just a sign of these positive inputs, when there's something important that we're highlighting, it's giving us a beep. Anyway, guys, getting back to it, nobody's going to be, I think, able to recognize 20 years from now how the planet looks compared to the horizon there, how it looks, especially, like I said, those just being born. It's going to be completely different. Those who've already been alive, all of us, it's going to look, we're going to be able to see a drastic change. Okay, so let's get to let's get to the other changes I spoke about. So we spoke about Mars moving into Cancer. We spoke about Saturn moving into Pisces, and about Pluto, right, moving into Aquarius. Now, those are the huge big changes. As we said, Mars is a smaller planet, but or at least it's not moving that long, but it's creating an impact with the other two changes. However, there are three other important changes happening right now in March, which, like we said, all affects and all contributes to this huge impact, right? The special impact. So the Sun went into Aries, as we know, on 21st of March, and the Sun in Aries represents, the spark of energy that is instigating new life. So at a fundamental level, Aries are motivated by the need to start and act. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's 0 degrees of the zodiac. So the drive to pioneer or lead may feature strongly. Basically, it will definitely feature strongly because that spark, or basically, is essentially the Aries spark, right? To pioneer or lead. It's also, in some essential way, the Sun in Aries, it's all about doing your own thing. It's about doing your own thing. So that happening right now is going to have an effect on all, I think, people, because it's happening at the time of these huge profound other changes, right, with the planets. The other important astrological event happening is the new supermoon in Aries that happened on the 21st of March. So both the sun in Aries and the new supermoon happened in Aries on the 21st of March. The new moon in Aries. Hi guys, so I just realized that the video just got cut off as I spoke about the last bit of the video and I went on. So I'm just gonna recap just the last part of the video about, I think I stopped at the supermoon in Aries, and we're gonna take it from there, okay? So like I was saying, the new supermoon in Aries arrives on the 21st of March too, in conjunction with the sun moving into Aries. So this lunation, it comes at the same time as the sun moving into Aries, and it's also at approximately the same time as the equinox, the March equinox, okay? So again, it moves in just on basically on the heels of the Aries sign of the ram beginning. And then the equinox, the March equinox, is basically it's the autumn equinox or spring equinox, depending where you live. Autumn or fall equinox if you're in the southern hemisphere, spring equinox if you're in the northern hemisphere, and that is the first point of Aries. It's also known as the cusp of Aries. That's the location of the March equinox. It's used as a reference point in celestial or coordinate systems. Basically, ancient astrological systems all use this point. It's the 0 degrees of the zodiac sign, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So this is at 0 degrees of Aries, 0 degrees of the zodiac sign, at the cusp of Aries. Ooh, sounds like a loud car outside. Hope you are able to hear that okay. It's all gone. Wonderful. So at 0 degrees, which is of Aries, which is 0 degrees of the zodiac, is when the equinox happens. The March equinox is always a powerful turning point for you. I mean, after all, this is when the sun is entering the first sign of the first house, of the zodiac, and the first sign of the zodiac, which is the house of the self. So it's shining a light. Aries is all about the house of the self. It's shining a light on the importance of you in your own life, okay? It's associated with self-image, our style of initiation, and how we are perceived by others. So you can think of it as your first impression. It's also, this time is obviously all about a time of new creation, new beginnings, new opportunities, new outlooks. Whatever new you wish to create in your life, begin it now. Take a step forward. All of this energy is combined. The Aries, the newness, the supermoon, the sun in Aries, equinox, and Pluto moving, Saturn moving, and we have Mars moving, and Mars, as we said, is the ruler of Aries too. It's all, and even the big changes of Pluto moving to Pisces and Saturn. Saturn moving into Pisces and Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's all about creation, big changes, new opportunities, new energies, and use this energy, guys, for you. I have a lot of, as I said, questions from my clients, corporate clients, friends and previous colleagues of mine who've been in corporate. I have young millennials and Gen Xers, different types of clients, always asking me questions of how these energies can help them. So I sincerely hope, my wish and hope is that this video helps you to use these profound energies, these special energies, to help you create the life you want, because only you can make the changes needed to create the life you want. So use this energy, guys. Use it wisely to create that energy you want in your life, okay? So those are your messages, and I would love to hear your comments and your feedback. So do send me some in the comment section, and I'd love to hear that. And you will hear from me soon again. I will post more videos, and the next one, will be more about wellness, astrology, and different hacks, lifestyle hacks that you can use for home and business to make your life easier, to use it to work for you. And give me some, tell me what you'd love to hear. That'll be great to get your feedback. So guys, those are your messages, and I wish you lots of joy, lots of health and happiness, and also lots of love and light. So take care. Bye.